that are arranged or played in order to create an effect.
Math rock.
Gratuitous. Mind-numbing. Shredding. It's all the above. Progtology 101.
Be dangerous and unpredictable and make a lot of noise.
Oh my goodness. Chris Progtologist, Progtology 101, right here on 103.3 KSCU, or streaming live at kscu.org. Powered by God, or whatever the entity is out there beyond me. Educated by Rush, yes, King Crimson, you name it. And just powered by the beauty of being me. That's right. I'm driven by that. I'm, of course, Chris the Progtologist, and you're listening to Progtology 101, the place where music gets progressive, pretty much. And we've already had Juliana Tartar on from Crimes of Passion, a soon-to-be local Bay Area legend. And now, joining me, I have the distinct pleasure and honor of having, from the band Points North, Uriah Duffy and Eric Barnett. What's up, guys?
Hey, Chris, how's it going? What's going on, man?
All right. Welcome to Progtology 101. It's a pleasure to have you guys, first and foremost. I have to tell you, Road Less Traveled, awesome disc, man. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't particularly love instrumental music. So that, and it is an utmost type of compliment coming from me. I got to be honest with you.
Hey, thanks. That really means a lot. Sometimes it can be hard to put the point across in an instrumental record. So when it resonates with guys who don't listen to the genre, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge progressive rock and progressive metal fan. I mean, anybody who's listened to this show knows all about me. I run the gamut from like Rush to Opeth to Dream Theater. I mean, but the instrumental stuff, just like stuff that's strictly instrumental, kind of loses me. But this disc, this and label mates of yours, Omfrey, the same, for whatever reason, these two discs have really grabbed me. First off, Eric, you're a tremendous player, dude. You're top notch. I was looking at your resume. You've been all over the place, man. You've had so many different genres of music that you've been involved in. It's awesome, and it seems that you've brought them all to this disc.
Well, yeah, thanks. I mean, I think that's kind of part of it. I think that you have some interesting challenges in the instrumental format to keep the listener's attention, for sure, and really to keep your own attention. It's really kind of easy when you're doing the guitar thing to repeat yourself, and I think you can get away a little bit more as a singer, but less as a guitar player when you're trying to put it across. And so there's actually some consciousness there, not just around what the listener would want to hear, but even what I would want to hear. And I mean, I have to play these songs night after night at shows, and if I'm playing kind of the same thing over and over again, then I get bored with it too. So
now, when you're doing strictly instrumental music, this may sound like an odd question, but do you improvise the solos? Like, do you ever find yourself doing something completely off target, like a singer would improvise an ending, or even a guitarist in the middle of a regular song would kind of do a slightly different solo? Like, do you find yourself going off target ever?
There's places for that, and then there's places not, because I have the same responsibility in the band as a singer. So if I step all over the important melody line or the important moment of drama or the thing that that people are listening for, then that kind of ruins the song. So I mean, I have that same responsibility. But then there's other places where I'll take liberties, or I'll step outside the box a little bit, or I'll just try something I haven't tried before and kind of see how that works. So I mean, I would say that more often than not, it tends to be on the scripted side because I have that responsibility, but then there's always places in the show that we can just mess around and let loose and have fun with it.
Excellent. So you guys have a gig coming up in May at the I'm sorry, I've lost my place here. It's at the 11th, Brutal Existence.
May 11th at Pine Street Bar. It's hosted actually by another radio show Full Shred Ahead, and they're putting it on along with ABC Music, and it's us and Gretchen Menn, who is also known as the guitar player in Zepparella, and this is her solo instrumental project.
Nice.
And Patrick DeRosa, who's another guitar guy from the South Bay.
That's cool. Yeah, and you guys just recently played in Gilroy, right? The Guitar Masters gig. How'd that go?
That was really cool. The lineup was one of my favorite ever for like that kind of sort of local gig. It was us and Michael E. Firkins. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But
yeah, I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster player. And then friends of ours, Travis Larson Band, who've also been around for a while, and you might like them too. And we're actually going on tour with them in June, just Southern California, Central California, up to here at the end of June.
That's cool. Now, do you have anything planned outside? I was looking at that. So you have June 15th through, the end of June, and it's mostly, it's all Southern California. Do you have anything planned, or are you already looking outside of leaving California, or, you're going to kind of just stick home and see how that goes first?
We are. There's some things in the works. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you, kind of stuff. But there's definitely some things in the works. But until the ink is dry, we're keeping that under wraps. But it is definitely our intention, while supporting this record, to be anywhere and everywhere. So
that's awesome. Now, so I see, like, between you and Uriah, let's say hi to Uriah. What's up, man? How's it going?
Going on, man? Just chilling.
It's cool, man. It's good to have you here. So, like, you've been, like, you've also been all over the place, and even it seems to be an even wider range than Eric. Like, you've gone from everything from Sly and the Family Stone to Whitesnake and Christina Aguilera and Alicia Keys. Like, so where do you fall? Like, where are your influences lie, Uriah? It doesn't, because you're kind of all over the place there. So, what drives your boat?
The quickest answer to kind of sum up all the styles is I see it as the bass is the same role in any style, almost any style. I have to anchor the band, and it doesn't matter if that's funk or rap or metal. I feel the bass has to do that. Now, as for what I bring to this band, what fuels me here, I actually grew up on the East Coast where there was tons of classic rock. I mean, my name's Uriah after Uriah Heep. My brother's name is Yes, and Y-E-S. And then, so in the house, we had Pink Floyd, Zeppelin, all that stuff was playing. So it wasn't until, I wanted to play bass at 3, but it really clicked at around 8 or 9 when I saw a Rush concert. I've seen a ton of concerts already, but Rush was the one that did it for me.
Oh, man.
So there's a ton of overlap between Kevin, the drummer, Eric, and myself in our Rush history and upbringing and what we learned, and we always try to stump each other who doesn't know which B-side of Caress of Steel or whatever. It's pretty fun. You would dig band practice, because like whenever we're kind of like in a funk or between songs we're working on or something, we bust into something from some Rush album.
So you guys regularly rip into Fountain of Lament, and that's not an issue?
I think I'm the only one that ripped into Fountain of Lament, but we've pretty much covered something from everywhere, and we especially do good with the middle period stuff.
Yeah, this guy's over there playing Cinderella Man. Everybody's like, "What is this song? I don't understand." Wow, that's
great song.
Yes, that is a great song. I wish they'd bust that one out on the next tour. So you guys must be amped. What do you think of the new Rush then? What do you think of the new song so far?
Love it. Yeah. I think I really like how they quote themselves, which is like fantastic. Just like the little piece of anthem from the beginning, or like it kind of feels like Bytor in the breakdown, and you hear kind of that old school Alex guitar. So it's really fun to kind of hear them referencing themselves and really going for it.
And it's great that they came out and their first single clocks at 7 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. That makes me so happy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this song is because like there's a point in the song where you think it's over.
Right.
And then it goes for another 3 minutes and you're like, this is great. Yeah, I was so excited, man. They're coming out here in November and I'm so amped. I already got my tickets. It's ridiculous. So what else in the scene are you guys into? So we got your classic influences, the Rush and the, and Yes and Uriah Heep and all that stuff. Like what are you jazzing on now? Like these days?
We've kind of, with me coming into the band after the band was already established with an excellent bass player already, Damien, who's on the album, we're kind of quickly finding our own sound, which is great. I mean, we kind of all have that common ground, but we all have individual influences, whether it be blues or what we do or what I do in my normal job as a bassist, it could be from rap or whatever. We all are kind of finding our own sound, so the songwriting at rehearsals is going the quickest I've ever seen it. Every day we rehearse, we end up having at least one or two new ideas that we will then record and kind of put in the bin.
Wow.
We've got a ton to choose from now. And I mean, we've really only, really seriously, I mean, how much did I guess when you officially joined? It was just a couple months, maybe. A few months ago, really, and there's already 3 new songs for the next record are already pretty much in the can. I mean, we're kind of just working out the kinks of them, but we play them live already in the set. So it really has been, it's just a treat. And like band practice is just something to look forward to because it's like completely creative every time. That's where he improvs his solos, these new songs. Right. Well, they're all totally improv at this point. But at some point, the dust will start to settle a little bit.
And you're playing those songs live already, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
So people who come see us, there's generally 2 or at least 3 new songs in the set that aren't even on the record yet.
Excellent. That's very cool. And then that's where Eric can go nuts and off book a little bit.
Pretty much. Well, it's a little bit like walking a high wire. That would have been a good segue. But I mean, some nights it comes out great, and some nights it's kind of like whatever. But
exactly.
That's part of how I figure it out. Like even the songs that are a bit more settled now kind of went through that same experience where, we kind of played them live. I mean, one of the things I think that's a little bit different about Points North than a lot of bands that do what we do is that we're really a live band first. I mean, even since the very beginning, it was always about, we went and were playing shows and building a following and working these songs out long before we had a recording to speak of.
Well, I mean, I've even heard Neil Peart, if we want to go back to Rush, Neil Peart, or however you say his name, there's many books out on how to say his name, but he's even said that the job of a band is to play live, and
right.
Any band worth his salt is either good live or you're worthless. If you're just a studio band, it's pointless. So, it's interesting when an instrumental band comes out and is tight. And I haven't had the pleasure to see you guys live yet, which brings me to my next point. I believe we have some tickets for this May 11th gig in Livermore. Is that true?
We do. I have 2 tickets to give away, and you can do that in any way that you want to, first caller or 100th caller if you get that many callers, however you do it. But and we'd like you to come too if you happen to be free.
Oh, I'm always free. I'm always free for good music, that's for certain. So as we said before, walking the high wire act, Eric was doing my job there with the segue. he's auditioning for radio already in case this thing doesn't work out, right?
Well, I gotta have a fallback position, So, as a matter of fact, I just talked to your station manager, so if you call me tomorrow.
Nice. It's good to know that someone's right over my shoulder, right? So we're gonna play a song off of Road Less Traveled. It's Points North. We're going to come back on the other side and give away tickets. So the number is 408-554-KSCU. And for those of you who have phones that are numberly challenged, because most people don't have the phones with the letters on the numbers anymore, it's 408-554-5728. Call now. The gig is May 11th. Doors open. The show starts at 8:30. It's the Pine Street Bar, 875 Rincon Avenue, Livermore, California. So any of you that are in that area or are from here and don't mind going out to Livermore, give us a call, 408-554-5728. We're going to come back on the other side of the song is called High Wire from Road Less Travel. It's Points North. We'll be back on the other side with Eric and Uriah, and we'll chat some more. Maybe Eric can audition for my job a little bit more. We'll be back.
Please.